Who?
John Hunt.
I'm starting to agree with you. I'm
The
starting to wonder
whole thing
about
is that he wants us to go away and leave him alone,
Well,
so he can kind of
there's a lot-
makes it kind of semi-union-y statements, so he can hang around long enough to get to be the international, where he can make big money in
Right.
advancement. And he
that blog is shut down.
but he is, we're
I'm
better
starting to agree with you about
we're better off to just form our own little caucus and start doing stuff, and then we're gonna
outside of them completely, right?
Yeah,
That's what I.
say. Once we get, if we can find a way to get some publicity through the like posting our stuff here and in the garages, get the union guys to let us do that. Then,
Well, they won't. They
well,
won't let us form a caucus, believe me. Why would they? They don't want to do anything that's going to weaken their power. You know that.
we could, just, the thing is, we need to start getting like a.
I'm looking at it at this point that all of our efforts are kind of pointless anymore because it's going to binding arbitration and.
Right. Well, the thing is about that binding arbitration letter, that was lies too. The stuff that you sent out about the guy can only pick one or the other, bullshit. That's not what fucking happens.
That's what it says.
He fucking lied about the entire process. Okay, the arbitrator's going to look at the offers and he's going to do what is called fact finding. Okay, he's going to go through it. He's going to say TriMet's full of shit here, TriMet's full of shit here. TriMet's spending $3 billion on a fucking bridge and the goddamn toy train, and they claim they haven't got enough money. That's bullshit. The reason why TriMet doesn't have enough money, because the Department of Homeland Security jerked their $50 million grant. Did you hear about that one?
No.
Because Fred Hansen lied to them and said that the 29 fair inspectors and Dieter and Chris Young and those guys, those new fair inspectors, and Lance Lawrence, all those guys, were trained and certified as first responders in the event of a terrorist event. Yeah, they're going to get out there and mix it up with Hamas, right? Fuck you, Fred. And Department of Homeland Security found out. Listen to me. Department of Homeland Security found out about that and said, "You lying sack of shit. Give us the fucking money back."
How did you find out about that?
I talked to people and I listened. And I put
Where the
things
heck?
together.
That's not
I used to
been
be
in
a
the media.
reporter, Alan. I'm smarter than most of these people.
Yeah, I noticed that, but wow, that is big news. So
Yeah,
you're
that's
saying that
big
there's a $50 million grant that was
$50 million
taken?
department. Remember the big hoorah about the money that was
Can I
going to be
publish
used?
this?
Remember the big hoorah about the money that was going to be used to buy security cameras and da-da-da-da-da for all the MAX stations?
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
going to fix them upside
Yeah.
down. And it kind of just quietly disappeared. Here's why.
I didn't know that either. I mean,
Because they lied about it. They didn't meet DHS criteria. They assured DHS they did.
Wow.
DHS found out about it and said, "Give us the fucking money back, asshole."
Huh.
And you know why they're losing money, or they're having less money for the Milwaukee MAX line? Because Federal Transportation Administration found out they lied about the ridership on the 33 in order to justify extending the MAX to there.
they didn't say that when they gave them the press.
Of course they didn't say
How
that.
did you find out about that?
Because that's what, look at what they did. Okay, the more ridership, the more money you get. Okay, from FTA. Okay, Blumenauer is on the House Ways and Means Committee. That's the golden committee of Congress. Do you think the FTA wants to piss him off? No. It has to be a very serious thing for them to come in and say, okay, look, we're not going to fund as much as we promised we would fund. The only thing they can do that with is if they find out that TriMet's been lying about ridership.
That's not what they said. That they didn't have. What they said was
that the ridership figures that they were furnished were not sufficient.
No, the actual. I read the actual
We're not-
press release from FTA. They said that
was not
they wanted to
sufficient.
give the money to other places, or they didn't have enough. But
Yes,
the
it was
real
not-
reason is what you're saying.
Because it was not sufficient to justify extending MAX. Because the numbers weren't
But
there.
where did you find it out?
I figured that out. Because the numbers
you
weren't
figured
there.
it out, but you never heard that anywhere.
Well, they're not going to tell you that. They're
No,
not going to
no,
admit that they
they're-
lied
no,
and that
I-
they're cheaters and thieves. No, of course not. The idea, did you see how
I
much
don't
they're
know, that's
spending? You know how much? Up to $150 million for financing for the Milwaukee line? Wait a minute, these are all government grants. What do you have to finance? What are you, borrowing money? No, you're not borrowing money. They're giving government grants, or they give you the money. Why do you have to finance anything? See, the reason why they have MAX being built, the reason why they're doing that is because the bankers and the contractors like it. Okay, people that
Yeah,
really
I know
run
that.
Oregon,
That I know that.
evil right-wing Republican slime that live in fucking Lake Oswego that really run Oregon, benefit directly from that.
Yeah, I know that. I know that. I know from my own.
$150 million.
I know.
It ain't chump change.
No, I know that's plenty of money. It's enough to go after. Yeah.
That's for the financing. Okay.
It's interesting.
Yeah. Well, they said that all the other places, everybody else wants to build light rails now too, so they
Yeah.
have to spread the money around.
Right.
But
That's
they
what-
got more money than they know what to do.
Well, yeah, apparently, because they
FDA.
have,
I mean,
they got, there's money everywhere, and the feds have money for everything.
Yeah, they do. Tons
Except our benefits.
of- well, but they have money for that too.
They just don't want to give it to us.
That's,
Yeah.
no, they have money for that. That's bullshit. And what TriMet says about, see, they took $187 million that they had set aside for 500 new buses, and used that for the MAX. So all they'd have to do is say, we're just replacing them. Then the FDA would say, okay,
That's interesting.
what do you think?
Well, you always have an interesting point of view. I will